the allotted picks that the Tennessee Titans had. So far, me and the Titans have technically agreed on two selections, which is Cam Ward at one, and then um, Xavier Restrepo. I went ahead and drafted him while the Tennessee Titans selected him or signed him as an undrafted or college free agent. Um, so yeah, that's what the BU draft is. It's just me selecting prospects with the allotted picks that the Tennessee Titans have. I do this quick intro just in case this is your first time finding one of my videos. I'm Charles Barnes. I have history in collegiate front office, um, collegiate front offices as a recruiting assistant. I also am a PFF certified data analyst. What is the name of the game for me in the scouting space? So over the last decade plus, I've been able to document my process, keep up with my accuracy, and improve the process. Over the course of the last decade or so, GMs usually get about one pick per seven selections correct. I've been able to triple that production by keeping up with my real time evaluations, not hindsight 2020 going back and saying, oh, this is who I would have selected. I keep it pretty current. And why am I sharing this? Because I'm always combated with credibility in my market. So I'm just doing the superficial social proof for those that care about it. I've also gotten a lot of or few agents paid based off of the evaluations that I've made. So I'm also been able to garner interest from other colleges in different states for my prowess. I had to politely decline because of uh, my family. I was definitely value that, so I share that to let you know where my headspace is. And when people ask me why aren't you writing for this company or why aren't you doing this, I have an aspiration to actually be doing it tangibly because my process is focused on trying to make the process as close to what is actually going on as possible, as opposed to just being a talking head in the draft media space. So that's where that goes. Anyway, great intro. But with pick 167, I went ahead and got Cam Ward and Xavier Restrepo's teammate for this past season, Tyler Barron out of Miami. Spent 4 previous years at Tennessee in the SEC. He's 6'5", 260, so he has great size. Um, Quick facts to get you hooked, per se. He had the second highest pressure rate in college football last year, only second to James Pierce Jr., who was a first round pick. Um, and he also had the highest pressure rate, or when compared to Abdul Carter, he had a higher pressure rate versus quality offenses. That's one you're going to have to research and do more because I don't know how you quantify what is a quality offense, probably based off of rankings. But he had a higher pressure rate than Abdul Carter, which was a top five pick, the top 10 pick at least. Also, he had 100 plus pressures at Tennessee in 4 years. Very impressive there. Um, so that's the hook and line sinker, whatever you want to call for the Tyler Barron pick at this pick. Mind you, we are at pick 167, and I gave you guys that type of data, right? So he has a fun personality, good flexibility as a pass rusher. He has above average size. He uses it well, but he's barely back scratching the surface with that. He has an assortment of pass rush moves. Um, I think his role at the next level, especially if he was brought into this situation, would be like an edge three, edge four rotational pass rusher to get pressure on the quarterback, to get some sacks. Um, I think some of the concerns you may have is he needs to be more aggressive in the run game and as a tackler. I definitely think it's in him because he is an aggressive player, but I think that he can be a bit finesse at times. Um, he had a shoulder injury during the spring of 24. He needs to focus on his discipline, run fits, and eye discipline. That's inconsistent right now. His technique when rushing, needs to get a little bit more fine-tuned. And in his pursuit, he needs to make sure that he's keeping good leverage and good setting the edge. He needs some coaching, but definitely think that the ceiling is high. He has workable traits. I think he's closer to an even front type of player, more traditional 4-3 defensive end than he is an outside linebacker to me right now. Especially when he gets in the NFL rate room, he probably will get bigger. So it's probably going to be a more traditional 4-3 DN rushing from 7 tech and 9 tech. But I do think he's athletic enough to drop. I really do think that. Um, so my comp for Tyler Barron was, I think a floor for him is, I think Kamala Correa, if you remember him, a former Titans player, which is just a guy that came in, had some splash plays. Um, even like a Vic Beasley type. I don't, Vic Beasley had that one good year, but I think as far as sustainability, I think that a very underrated player and another former Titan is, Jason Babin, who put together and strung together a really good career. And on the high end, you might get, some, uh, dare I say his name? Mm. Uh, you might get some because I'm stuck between. No, I'm not gonna say it. I did see some flashes. I did see some flashes of Jared Allen. So this is stylistically. This doesn't necessarily have to be the career. I did see some Jared Allen flashes with Tyler Barron at times, and what do I mean by that? Jared Allen he had a um, mean swim move. He had mean flexibility. He had this kind of pro hop that he did where he kind of bounced into the block and then kind of cut underneath and had that flexibility. I think that Tyler Barron has that move in his pass rush arsenal. So I did see shades of Jared Allen, right? Not saying that he can have the career, but Jason Babin had that pass rush flexibility as well. And I think this is excellent value. You know what I'm saying? I think so one of the main themes that separated my draft class, like I said earlier in the video, was the marriage between upper echelon tape and analytics, right? And I think that is an excellent marriage for a pass rush centric prospect at pick 167, just one pick outside of the 6th round.